Have you ever bought something so badly you'd do anything to get it? That's what happened to Melon, a sweet girl from Shanghai who was completely obsessed with art toys. She worked at a toy store, which was perfect for her, until one day, the store got a shipment of limited edition Labubu dolls. If you know anything about the art toy world, you know Labubu is a huge deal. These things sold out in seconds, disappearing from shelves like they were never there. But Melon, using her employee perks, managed to snag one for herself before they were all gone. This wasn't just any Labubu. It was a special edition, a golden one with these huge, glassy eyes and a smile that was just a little too wide, a little too knowing. It was creepy cute, you know the type. She was so excited, she practically ran home to show it off. But the second she walked through the door, her dog, Bo, went absolutely ballistic. Now, Bo was the sweetest, most chill dog you could ever meet. But seeing this doll, he turned into a different animal. He was barking, growling, his hackles raised, acting like he was seeing a demon wearing a Disney costume. Malin just laughed it off. "Silly boy," she said. "It's just a toy." She placed the golden Labubu on a shelf in her bedroom, right where she could see it. That was her first mistake. That night, around 2 in the morning, a sound jolted her awake. It was giggling. But this wasn't a cute, childish giggle. It was a raspy, cracked sound, like something ancient and evil was trying to mimic a child's laughter. Her heart started pounding. She scanned her dark room and saw it a tall, shadowy figure standing in the corner. It was just a silhouette, but it felt solid, real. She lunged for the light switch, her fingers fumbling in panic. The light flooded the room, and there was nothing there, just an empty corner. But then her eyes fell to the floor. The Labubu doll, which had been on her shelf, was now lying on the rug, its glassy eyes staring right up at her. She tried to brush it off as her mind playing tricks. She picked up the doll, put it back on the shelf, and forced herself to go back to sleep. But her dreams were pure nightmare fuel. She was in a dark, decaying room, and this thing, this red, rotting creature with long, spindly limbs, was crawling towards her across the floor. It moved like a broken insect, its joints cracking with every movement. She was paralyzed, unable to scream. The creature crawled onto her bed, its foul breath washing over her face. Then it grabbed her throat, its cold, sharp fingers digging into her skin, and it started to laugh, that same horrible, cracked laugh she'd heard earlier. It was a laugh filled with pure, sadistic joy. Malin woke up with a gasp, drenched in cold sweat, her own hands clutching her throat, and sitting right on her chest, its plastic body heavy against her, was the Labubu doll. Its too wide smile seemed to mock her. Before she could even process what was happening, Bao came tearing into the room. He leaped onto the bed and went straight for the doll. He didn't just bite it. He completely destroyed it. He ripped and tore at the plastic, shredding it into tiny, unrecognizable pieces, growling the entire time. Melon was stunned, but also relieved. She gathered up the plastic remains, dumped them in the trash, and took a deep, shaky breath. She tried to tell herself it was just a bad dream, a weird coincidence. The next morning, she woke up feeling like she'd been hit by a truck. A splitting headache pounded behind her eyes, and when she looked at her arms, she saw clusters of angry, red marks. They looked like bite marks. Small, sharp bite marks. A cold dread settled in her stomach. Then she realized the house was silent. Too silent. "Bo," she called out. "Bo, where are you?" No answering bark. No jingle of his collar. Panic started to rise in her chest. She stumbled into the bathroom to splash some water on her face, and when she looked up at her reflection, she screamed. Her face was covered in small, welt-like bites, just like the ones on her arms. But that wasn't what made her scream. It was what she saw in the mirror's reflection, standing behind her. It was the monster from her dream. The red, rotting creature was right there, its lipless mouth stretched into a grotesque grin, laughing silently at her terror. She spun around, ready to fight, ready to run, but there was nothing there. The bathroom was empty. Her eyes darted around the room, landing on the small shelf above the sink. And there it was. The golden Labubu doll. It was perfectly whole, completely rebuilt, not a single scratch on it. And its smile was wider now, more triumphant. Pure terror took over. She ran out of the bathroom, screaming Bao's name, frantically searching every room, every closet, under every piece of furniture. He was gone. He was just gone. Crying, completely defeated, she walked back towards the kitchen, and that's when she froze in the doorway. The Labubu doll was sitting on the kitchen counter, right next to the sink. Its tiny, golden hands were stained with something dark, something red. Its smiling mouth was smeared with the same color. With a trembling hand, she forced herself to look inside the sink, and there, she found what was left of Bao's torn, bloody body. Mei Lin completely broke down. This wasn't a nightmare. This was real. Desperate for answers, she grabbed her laptop and started Googling cursed Labubu doll. The results were terrifying. Hundreds of stories from people all over the world. People reporting their Labubu dolls moving on their own, killing family pets, causing sudden, unexplainable illnesses. People seeing shadow figures in their homes, being attacked in their sleep. There were even reports of deaths linked to these dolls. Some countries had apparently banned their sale. There were stories of priests attempting exorcisms, only for the dolls to reappear, unharmed. Melon didn't waste another second. She knew what she had to do. She grabbed the doll, ignoring the icy chill that ran up her arm as she touched it. She took it outside, doused it in lighter fluid, and set it on fire. She watched as the golden plastic blackened, melted, and warped in the flames, the creepy smile finally dissolving into a bubbling mess. Once, it was nothing but a pile of ash. She scooped the remains into a glass jar, drove to the nearest river, and threw the jar as far as she could into the dark, swirling water. That night, she called her sister, sobbing, trying to explain the horrors of the last 48 hours. She thought it was over. She thought she was finally free. She was wrong. The next morning, the police were called to Melon's home after her sister couldn't reach her. They found her dead in her bedroom. The official cause was a sudden, massive heart attack, but the officers at the scene were unsettled, because sitting right there on the nightstand, next to her body, was a golden Labubu doll. It was pristine, clean, and its big, glassy eyes seemed to be staring right at her. Its wide, painted-on smile looked fresh, almost triumphant. It turns out, the night Melon burned her doll, a co-worker from the toy store had stopped by. Worried about Melon after their phone call, she wanted to do something nice for her. She knew how much Melon loved Labubu dolls, and she had managed to get her hands on another one from that same cursed, limited edition batch. She left it for Melon, as a surprise. That was the doll the police found. Some people say these specific dolls are vessels for an ancient demon, maybe even Pazuzu, the same entity from The Exorcist. Others dismiss it as mass hysteria, a creepy story that got out of hand on the internet. And some, the ones who really pay attention, think this story about Melon isn't an ending at all. They think it was just the first warning. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you have any strange toy stories of your own, I'd love to hear them. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more creepy stories. Stay safe out there.